What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to a all new year, all new roller troll. Well, I guess they're always all new. But we do have a couple of things to talk about first. Yes, we are not on Twitch right now. If you're here, then you're in the right place. Kind of makes sense. But yeah, we're over on YouTube and Behance. All the polls today will be on YouTube. So if you want to be in that chat to answer the polls, you know what? That's what you got to do. But also, if we've left anybody behind on Twitch, please go tell your friends. We are over on YouTube and Behance now. But everything else, I think, is pretty much the same. So I do need to explain for those of you that may have never been to a roller troll what this is all about. So bear with me. We take a 20-sided die and we roll it. That die will give us a result. And that result will take us to our key, which is 1 through 20. Oh yeah, and Jack already has a poll up because the poll today, what we'll do, back to this. So we reveal these options as we go along. And today's options are, which you've already seen if you're in YouTube, radiating retro or techno mechanico, which little bit, it's more of a style choice. I figured with the new year, we'd do something a little bit more futuristic, something that's, is 2026 is kind of the future, sort of. So normally we're very steeped in fantasy, and that we'll be back. We'll be back to that. But for today, I thought, fantasy, we gotta change things up a little bit if we're going sci-fi. So let's do it with a whole new board. Oh, look at this. Oh no, are we locking up already? Photoshop, stay with me. Uh-oh. What's happening, Photoshop? Wow, okay. Oh, we're getting there. Yeah, we have a whole new board. And we don't have to scratch it off, but I thought you guys would want to see that. Look at that, all new board. But we will have to, let's see what our poll is doing right now. Oh, is it already, wait a minute. Is it already done? What is happening? Oh no, I don't want to end the poll. I'm trying to see okay, there will be a few wrinkles to work out now that we're back over on YouTube and doing polls and such. Let me say hi to chat while I figure all this out. What's up, PR? How's it going? Oliver, good to see you. Who else? Cody, what's up, Clever? How's it going? And of course, thanks, Jack, for modding. But yeah, new board, new crash, new year. Yeah, all of those things. But while you guys decide, I don't know why I can't see the full poll. It's kind of, oh, there it goes. Well, you know what? We don't have time to wait. I'm trying to be a little more patient in the new year. So let me just tell you where we're starting from. I do have, it's probably hard to see, I do have a little bit of a composition going on. We're going to make this more of a poster, putting together the pieces of the poster. I don't know where all the puzzle pieces fit on this poster, but that's the fun. That's where you guys come into play. So, maybe it's weird. I want to see how many. I think only the poll creator can see results without. But let's see. Yeah, I do see it now, Jack. I do see it. I just see that it just says that Radiating Retro is winning. So let's go ahead and end that poll. In fact, I might be able to help you out some. Do you want me to end the polls when I want them to end? Because I think I have that option. We're figuring out. We're figuring all of this out on the fly. Well, we waited and now it's time. Well, that's how I encourage the voting process. Oh, it's going to end. Looks like we have a clear winner. And then people rush to the polls. We've been around. We've done this a time or two. It's fine. But I don't know where we're gonna go with this. I am excited to get rolling. Pun intended. Well, somebody's got to vote. Somebody has to vote. And if I see the vote change, then it's on. In the meantime, I have started a new layer. I typically work, for those of you that don't know, I typically do work with a slightly gray background so that I can add highlights if I need to. But otherwise, it's mostly going to be drawing. Whoa, hello. Oops. Mostly going to be drawing with like a grayscale. I'll go a little bit darker just so that you guys can see it. I am going to pull this back a little bit so you guys don't have to see as much of that. Look at that, ending the poll. So we're probably gonna dip a little bit into different things, but we're gonna go a little bit mechanical with this. But we do need to start with a die roll. So let's get cracking, shall we? Oh look, you guys get to see the little, hey, there we go. I don't know why that didn't play, but you got to see the little mist effects. Let's go ahead and roll. Oh, didn't even make it onto the board. Whoa, what a terrible roll. It's a 7. It's a 7. Oh, I went right to the die cam. Okay, just for those, this is what you should have seen. Like I said, just shake the rust off. Just shake the rust off. We'll get there. All right, so we got a 7. We're going to go over to our key. Bam, our brand new shiny board. And then we're going to reveal what is at 7. Oh no, I think I know what this might be. Yep. Never fails. Future favorites, chat, pick another number. And I guess in this case, I'll look at both Behance and YouTube chats. But the first one I see, or however it comes to order, whoever types in any number but 7. You can't pick 1, 7, and 20. Those are the ones you cannot pick. $18. Oliver's got us at 18. Man, I hope this is a poll. I don't remember. Let's find out. Because we got to start drawing. It is roads where we're going. Maybe we don't need them. Or mass transit. This is interesting because this is kind of a background choice. But that's okay. It can help us start to frame things a little bit. In the meantime, I'm just going to start sketching while you guys vote on that. I'll keep an eye on the poll as best I can, Jack. I think I will, because we could use these, like if this is our flying cars or whatever we wind up doing, you can use these type of things as a directional compositional trick to keep the eye centered, or direct the eye where you want it to be, I guess is the best way to put that. So these are maybe our possible lanes. I don't know. We could have one floating across. Not sure. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to start just doodling. I don't know where our main characters will be. I'm not sure what they will be. There are tons of options for them to not be just human, so that may happen. I don't know. But in the meantime, I'll start laying this out. I'm kind of thinking about if I want this to have some sort of none of this is permanent at this point, but maybe there's some sort of vest on. It could be full of gear. I don't know. It could be like a Star Wars type thing where there are tons of pockets and straps and whatever. But I like the idea. I'll go ahead and toss on a potential. This is where the mech stuff comes in. Potential backpack Don't know yet, because I think there are options like this. Again, I made these options a while ago, so I'm not sure what is what. And possibly an arm that is robotic. Who knows? Who knows? Let's see what's happening with our roads where we're going. Oh, mass transit is trying to come back. I'm not super rushed for this one. I know when we don't pick our main characters in this style, it gets a little funky, but I think we have enough time to fix that if we need to. I'm going to give this a few more minutes while I doodle. And now I'm kind of deciding I want this to be a mechanical guy, like fully. I don't know. You never know where the troll of Roller Troll will take us. Annika, what's up? How's it going? Hope everybody's having a good start to the new year. Obviously, I know everybody's got projects going on and all that sort of thing. So, all the best of luck and all that stuff. I think, Annika, you still are doing podcasting, content creation. I don't like the phrase content creation, but I think we're past all of that now. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. I never found a phrase I liked better, so that's on me. Going to YouTube. Okay, looks like roads where we're going. We don't need roads. I think that's going to win. I'm going to end the poll, Jack. And then I will go back to our roads. And maybe we'll just start putting in some potential... You're not going to see a lot of detail here, but basically little blocks in the air, in the sky. This is potentially what this is. And then that can suffice to be our potential vehicles, some sort. And I am following a little bit. This is setting up a little bit of perspective for us. And I'm not mad about that at this point. But right now, just the way I would think about it is little cubes in the air. Just little flying cubes. That's about it. And they may get so small that you don't really can't even tell what they are, Oh, would be nice. I'm not going to set it up here, but it might be nice to have a little bit of lens distortion on these, which would curve this out a little bit. I may hint at it, but I'm not gonna fully invest because we got a lot to do, and I don't want to get caught up in this is mainly going to wind up being a little bit more than a sketch, hopefully, around sketch level before the end of the stream. And I don't know that we'll get to every piece and part of it. That's kind of how these work. If you've ever been to a roller troll. And then the question is, are these standard vehicles? Are these things that, why do they have to have wheels at this point? Maybe they hover. I don't know. All of this stuff is kind of what I get caught up on when, in a good way. Let your imagination take over, make up your own rules type of thing. You can always flip these around. The flip's not doing much for me right now because there's not a lot that can be that distorted. Yeah, I have to get through these polls so we can get to something that's a little bit Ooh, hello. Sorry about that. That's a little bit more substantial for our characters. I think that's why I'm trying to get through these pretty fast, pretty quickly. At least that's the goal. Yeah, I'm also thinking things. I'm not going to get too close to whatever this figure might be, but I am thinking along the lines of like, I guess if you've ever watched Star Wars, if you've ever watched a Star War, there is a small town called Coruscant, and they have flying vehicles. Also Blade Runner and those type of things. There's all of this kind of perpetual sci-fi stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and do this correctly this time and get a roll going. Okay, here we go. Guess we should be on the dice can. All right, let's do it. Ooh, made up for that last roll for sure. That's a 13. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so let me go ahead and make a little note. Ooh, maybe we should, we'll select these in purple in honor of Val. Oh, hello. There we go. Usually they're in red, but we'll do this for our friend Voodoo Val. Okay, 13 is a reveal of distant cyberscape. So some kind of like horizon possibly, or head in the clouds. It could be more cloud-like in the background. It's probably kind of crazy. We're in building this environment with no, we've got no antagonist or protagonist. So these are the options: distant cyberscape or head in the clouds. But I'm gonna go back to sketching. Just, maybe we won't ever get anything, but at least I'll have a sketch in place. Will not address facial features necessarily, because I don't know if it's human or not. Yeah, Umacorn, we're doing something a little futuristic today, so I figured why not change it up. I'm gonna give this guy a cap because I can for now. There we go. Let's see, maybe, who doesn't want a flying car? Perpetual dream. You get a ticket and then you say, my ticket flew off, sorry. Hey, I guess that would happen. Why not? Why not? In fact, maybe that's what's happening here. He's holding the ticket. This is my ticket. Or they are. I don't know what this is. Speaking of tickets, and this is not a paid promotion by any means, but if anybody is interested in a little indie film called Lord of the Rings, maybe that's not indie. I'm not sure. It is back in theaters this month. Hello, let's go. They'll be showing the extended editions, and I will be definitely going to that. Super stoked. I guess that's not sci-fi themed, so maybe I shouldn't be mentioning. I don't know. Again, not a paid promotion. New Line has nothing to do with this. Never heard of it. Oliver's never heard of it. Hey, you know what? Go check it out. I think you might like it. You might like it. I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm investing too much lore. Let's take a look at Head in the Clouds, or or distant cyberscape. Let's go ahead and end this because I think we might have a little bit of both. It's a close enough poll that I thought, why not? Why not a little bit of both? What I think I'm going to do, though, is start a new layer, and I'll call this Clouds City? Question mark? Yes, question marks in the layer because you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. I am going to pick a little bit. This is tricky. We don't have anything for our foreground. I'm going to drop a little bit of a potential border. And we may have items sticking out of the border, which I like. But that can also give us a little bit of fun room for, let's see, if we've got clouds coming in. And these could be those massive, like, thunder, whatever they're called. The big, are they called thunderheads? I don't know. Cumulus? Is that what I'm thinking about? I don't know. They're the big puffy ones that go, you know, so tall. So tall. And I like the idea of maybe in this area there is some room for a little bit of like a cityscape. And it's just going to be hinted at right now. I'm not getting crazy, I don't think. Again, we don't have a protagonist yet. Or an antagonist. I'm not sure which is which in this case. But I like the idea of like maybe something with sky bridges, some tall structures. Could even be like a floating structure. I don't know. You had Return of the King on during the holidays. It is a great holiday watch, by the way. If you have a spare, 3 hours, 4 hours, just hanging around. Okay, new poll. Time to go. All right, I think we can do it. I think we got it. Okay, let's see. Oh, what is that? 16. Let's take a look. I'm just going to circle both of these, I think. But I'll do another circle right there. Boop, to know which one won. What did we get? 16? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's okay. We'll get a poll. We'll get a poll real quick. Okay, you know what to do. Future favorites. Chat, pick a number. I specifically did not, if you were here for the last roller troll, I made sure there were no real like chat gets to do a thing except for vote. And I was like, I'll sprinkle that back in. Sure enough, the first, within what, 4 rolls? We've had 2 of them. And I think there are only 3 or 4 on the board. You can't go for 2 or you can't go for 20. Megan says 5. Megan says 5. Good choice. Good choice, I think. I don't know what's here. Let's find out. Let's just find out together, shall we? Can't stop the signal, Mal. Bonus points for anybody that knows where that quote is from. And then Squawk Talk, if you know what that reference is from, I don't know if we'll give bonus points for that one. So we're talking about either something that implies radio signals, or something that's a little bit more mechanical, more like, it still could be radio, but not specifically radio. It could be some sort of other, something techie, lots of wires and stuff. So those are our options. Let me while we're here, I will go ahead and write. We picked 18, and then we picked 5. Okay. Bacon Bits. Nailed it. Bacon Bit. Did anybody else guess it? Firefly. Megan got it. Okay. Bacon Bits gets bonus points. Megan gets bonus points. Technically, Megan, you'll get a little bit less because it's not Firefly. It's the movie Serenity. I mean, you know, it's pulling. No, that's okay. Everybody gets bonus points. Oliver, you haven't finished it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oliver, what are you doing? What are you doing? PR3 was a good one. We may get to that. We'll see what happens on the next roll. But I think what's going to happen, I'm going to go ahead and start with this item slash whatever this thing is that we're about to draw or paint. And maybe it's the thing, maybe this hand does not have a ticket. Again, we have options. I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of that. In fact, I may just make, I'm going to hide that one. I'm just going to make another copy so that's a little bit bolder for everybody to see. I see how light this is sometimes, but that's how I work before I start locking things in. But I think I'm just going to write signal. I'll name this layer. And then I think I'm going to start putting in a couple of things. Maybe this is the start of whatever we were talking about. Maybe there is a couple of antenna or something. I don't want to use too much of our outside of our border. I want to leave it there for significant things to be breaking out of the border, if that makes sense. Could have some sort of antenna. I don't know yet. Let's see where we're headed. Can't stop the signal, Mal. Let's let that roll a little bit. Looks like some people wanted some Squawk Talk. Did anybody name what that's possibly from? People don't want to put it in chat. There's been mixed reviews, I think, on where that's from. This could be an interesting stack of gear and I don't know. This is what's fun about this kind of thing for me is there's no rule to what this looks like. Usually I will go and look up a few things to see, you know, what kind of tech I want to base it off of. That's why we had like the style choice of the retro, radiating retro, which would be more like Fallout-ish looking stuff, potentially. And we still have some potential for that. But I think we're more in the mech, maybe a little bit leaning Star Wars at the moment. It's just a mix. It's a mix. We'll probably have some things with some, you know, knobs and dials and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it looks like maybe that is ended. Maybe that the vote is not moving, so we're going to go ahead and end it. Man, we may rush through. We're 30 minutes in, and we've already had 5 options. We're rolling. To be fair, 2 of those were pick a number re-rolls, which I guess technically, All right, let's end that. Let's start a new roll. Okay, here we go. That was the why. Okay, that's a 5. Normally we'd throw this in jail, but it didn't roll a 5. 5 was picked, so we're gonna give it another shot. A little bit better roll. And that's a 19. Oh nope. Wait, what is that? That's a 16. I'm going to turn that around. Okay, okay, calm down. Did we already do 16? We already had 16. It also, wait, how did we get to 16? Did we roll 16? I think we may be in jail. Yeah, it's going to jail. Sorry. It's jail cam time. All right, so we have this little device here that, ooh, where are you? That opens, and then we magically make it go away. I know this is goofy. Goes in there. Oh, now it's gone. Never to be seen from, well, we'll see it again. All right, let's give this another shot. Okay, straight up roll, new die. That is a 6. Cool. All right. And our 6 over here says, metal-headed meanie. Okay, here we go. This is probably an antagonist or carbon-based baddie. Okay, so we've got something fully mechanical or something that's maybe a little bit of a mix, but it's definitely carbon-based life form. I'm going to go ahead and circle while that poll gets started. Can't stop the signal. Oh, wait, did you try to guess what it was from? Umacorn. Bye-bye, dice. Okay, here we are. So signal definitely won. I'm going to keep going with this. And I was going to do something that looked more like more of a, possibly more radio with tons of antenna things sticking off of it, but I don't think that's the mode right now. I don't think that's where we're going. So I'm going to build some kind of, maybe this thing is floating. I don't know. It's just a bunch of, it's kind of a console. I don't know. What are we calling this? Ooh, kind of interesting. If I decide to go with some of these harsher, this is what happens when you're kind of sketching out things. Sometimes things start to work out. I didn't know we were going to pick the roads thing. So I've got all these like compositional things you're, forcing you to the center. Well, lo and behold, we now have a console that can potentially mirror some of that. With some of the angles that have kind of been chosen. So we've got some of this stuff going on, which is kind of what we have up there. So we're keeping that perspective alive and hopefully not flattening out, because I could easily add a shape that would just flatten out. But if you do something that keeps the perspective of the, what else is happening in the scene, it kind of makes it a little bit more dynamic. Keeps it flowing a little bit better. I do want some hanging wires. If you guys know, when I do techie stuff, it's essentially a bunch of mechanical boxes that are open and also poor cable management across the board. Because that's how wires work. That's how things work. Ooh, we have a fun opportunity here. We were talking about breaking the border of things. We could have some of these wires looping up and then back out. I do like to work kind of zoomed out when I can, but I know that might be a little bit frustrating for viewers like you. So I'll do a little bit of a mix of both. And I'm changing up the hose type just because why not? It's fun. And bonus, I know you've probably heard me say this, bonus that you can follow the contour of the shape by doing that. So if I put little surface lines, that helps you follow the shape. It doesn't need to be everywhere, just every now and again. I think that's a good little touchstone for how to keep things. Like I'll do one right here. It's a little bit of like maybe something is inserting into the side of this console. But if I just, here, I'll zoom in a little bit. But if I just contour this in the direction that I want it to be, you'll see your eye will push it back that direction. It kind of goes back, and to the left, back, and to the left. But that's one way to kind of, keep your sketches and things not really organized, but in space, there's organization. In space, this lives in a real place. That's kind of the idea. You're kind of trying to keep that perception, or the fact that this can live in a real space alive. At least I try to when I can. Kind of gave up on the back part of this, but that's okay. It's not, I don't want to sell it so much that it doesn't matter to me that this might get covered up by, whatever we do with the border. As long as it's breaking down here, I kind of like it. All right, let's take a look. Metal-headed meanie is winning. I think we're going to start working on a protagonist or an antagonist. All right. That kind of works. I'm going to finish this off as best I can. And it is okay to have, like, I don't have anything right here, but it is okay to, like, interject some organic stuff, just to keep things lively. But I think since we're so sci-fi centric, I'm not going to really do that yet. There might be a reason for it, and another option, potentially. Ooh, I like this. Maybe there's a reason for a curved. I don't know why. You tell me why. I like it. That's enough. That's enough for me. All right, so this is our signal maker thing. All right, let's go ahead and start checking out this baddie. I'm going to end this, the metal-headed meanie. And I think we're going to put this up here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I'll probably work this one zoomed out. And if we have time, we'll come back and kind of maybe solve some of these. Once everything's kind of meshed together, we may solve some of this other stuff. But again, time permitting. And maybe there's one more. I like the idea of one more antenna up here. This is a tangent. Maybe this car is longer. I don't know. I'll do that on the correct layer, just so my brain will remember. When I turn this on and off, we'll get that action. Okay, so that means we need a new. We can start this after we start a new hole. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. There's only one option I don't want it to be, and I bet that's what we're gonna get. Okay, I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be a 20. Let's see what happens. Can't tell. The light is weird. It's a 17. Oh, all right, all right. Yeah, now that you've said it. Yeah, yeah. 17. Let's go ahead and reveal that, and then I'll make sure to mark down our last poll winner. Suit yourself. Suit yourself. Are totally tanked. So here's the thinking on this. I was thinking we'll do some kind of like potential bio suit sort of situation on either one of the characters, or there's potential for other background characters, or it's like a armored, shelled, more like a yeah, I guess it'd say armored, but like mechanical armored. That was the thinking behind these two. So basically, a tank, like you would have in some kind of RPG, or some sort of bio suit sort of thing. But in the meantime, metal-headed meanie. Did I make a new layer? I did not. And I'm open to options. I'm open to options. Let's make this. And there is a potential to make this shape something different. Right now it's just head shaped. And there is there's always the want to make it menacing. Doesn't have to be necessarily. I'm just riffing, so if anybody has any like directional ideas on where to go with this, let me know. It's hard to say, I know. You're like, well, I don't know what you're going to do. It's like, I don't know what I'm going to do either. But that shouldn't stop you from suggesting. Maybe? I don't know. Don't really want this to come off like an 80s vibe, but then that feels like where we're headed. It's not terrible. I think if we were doing... Ooh, maybe we do bring in some retro aspect. I'm totally feeling like this was like some 80s toy. Next poll is up. What's up, Brian? How's it going? Welcome in. Yeah, happy New Year's all around to everybody. Everybody get a new year. I am going to flip this because I can see that this is getting a little off from where I want it to be. I don't really like where this is going too much. And you know what the great part is? We can just start on over. '80s remind you of high school. Ryan? I didn't go to the high school in the 80s. I know you didn't go to high school in the 80s. But it still reminds you. Fascinating. We can also do... We don't have to have a traditional top of the head either. Maybe this is where we're headed. Headed? Liking the idea of like a face shield, potentially. Like maybe cut out for, like, maybe this is the voice box. There's a little bit of the tangent going on here, so I'm going to pull this back just a little bit. I might rotate it. Right now it's leaning back a little bit too much for my taste. And maybe it's curved. Oh, hello. More than it is flat. Which era had better high school movies, 80s or not? I don't know, man. Some of that stuff does not hold up very well. But sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. I'm gonna let chat chime in on that. I like the idea that there's like a visor or something right here, but it's not a visor at all. It's just a top support. No, it looks too much like a tiny little nose. Get rid of that. But I do like the idea of an open... like the cranium part of this is kind of open. So I've got maybe like a roll bar situation. I don't want to spend too much time on that part of it either. I know we have a poll going for Suit Yourself, which is tied. So you know what? I'm just going to sit back and keep sketching. I'll let you guys figure it out. All right, but that does mean I have to have somewhat mechanical looking pieces inside of this. And I like the idea of these two possible the mechanics of moving the head around kind of showing through. Probably some more hanging wires. Yeah, that may be too distracting for now. I think I need to keep this a little bit cleaner. All right, back to the head, back to the thing. Still tied. Anybody want to vote? Anybody want to chime in? Maybe I should do the thing again. Well, it looks like we're only going to get a tie here. You know, I've never chosen... I think maybe once I made I didn't vote, but I made an executive decision on one of the polls. It may have to happen again. And then totally tanked. So there we go. I'm ending it. You can't change it now. There you go. Let me get another poll up, and then I will make sure that I choose that. Ooh, maybe we have like an antenna or something sticking out over here. Top of this guy. Maybe one back here. And basically there's just little greebles, little sketches of things, potential shapes, that sort of stuff that propagate enough for me to at least tell what I want to do with it in the future when I come back to it. Like I've mentioned before, I like to leave little notes for myself in the form of sketches, sometimes even actual words. Okay, let's get another thing going. Start a new roll. Ryan, voting on your own things. Come on, Ryan. Okay, I guess that's fair. All right, let's get a new roll. Ooh, that was an interesting one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait, that's not what it was. Yeah, it's a 9. Okay, not a 9. It's not a 6. I thought we were done for. I thought we were toast. Okay, before I forget, we had totally tanked, and then we're choosing 9. Let's see what happens with this one. Oh, here we go. That's crazy. We just had back-to-back antagonist, protagonist. Prototype protagonist, our human hero. So our little guy in front might actually be the human. It could be bio something, or they could be all robots, and we don't know. But we have to work on totally tanked, and I think I have an idea. Let me switch this back because I think this was the original. Yeah, that's the original way. So says the navigator. Thank you, Photoshop Navigator. You're the best. I'm just going to make this a little bit thicker for me, a little bit more defined. Yeah, new scratch card. Yeah, it's a futuristic thing. It's not fantasy, so we had to do something, right? I don't think. Here's the options. Here's what I was going with for the tanked, for the totally tanked. I was thinking we could have a row. We can do a row of minion type characters back here, or they could be down here. And I'm not sure. And it could be just one. We could just do one. Ooh, maybe that's what we do. Okay. Revisiting the idea. I'm going to grab this and then hide that. I'm just making a copy. I'm going to clean up this area, because I think this totally tanked may be like the sub general slash, whatever. Maybe this is the meanie, the metal-headed meanie. I'm thinking something no neck. The no neck mech. And I guess the question is, does it resemble things from our big baddie? like these little eye sections potentially. And it would not have an open area, I don't think. That just seems not a great idea. It could have like a helmet style thing on it too. Here, here, let me go metal meanie. Oh, I had that. It's okay. Is that what this is? Yeah, that's the original, the OG that we didn't go with. Just gonna clear out a little bit of room. And I probably should make him, right now it's kind of 3/4, and I think it makes it look like it's living in the same space as our character, but I don't really want that. So I think I'm going to start over. Wow, we've had a lot of starting over. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of symmetry here. And then I'm going to hide that symmetry tool. If you ever want to work with the symmetry tool, if you're on a brush, it's just hanging out over here. There's a little butterfly icon, and you can turn it on or off. And you can also hide it, which is what I'm about to do. And then I'm going to get to town on basically like the diagram version of this, I think, for now. Just an outline. Definitely V-shaped tank. Let's see what our poll is doing. Prototype protagonist. Okay, cool. We're kind of like, it's not looking bad for that. You always forget the symmetry tool in Photoshop. Yeah, it comes in clutch sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. And even just to get started on something, it is not bad. It's not a bad option. I like the idea of it being tanky up top and then kind of not in other places. Like we could go really thin arms and like some Popeye, some big bracer looking gauntlet thing. Ooh, yeah. Because all the mechanics and power of it is shielded up top, and then maybe there's a little bit of a something like this, and you get these claw. Maybe it's 3-fingered. We don't know. It could be anything we want. That's the fun part of this. Ooh, I do like the idea of maybe we open this up. And the means of conveyance isn't necessarily tanked, but like we were saying, the top of it is essentially this dome slash, I don't know, slash. Not very super. It's almost 50s sci-fi, which I don't mind. It does fit the retro theme more than what we have here, but I don't know. What do you guys think? And we're going to leave the bottom part of this off because I think we're going to do... We got to have another tiebreaker, folks. Come on. I should have ended it. Do you want it to be human? Do you want it to be human, or do you want it to not? And I'm talking about this fella right here. Or lady. I don't know. We haven't decided on anything. Love the giant hands. I don't know why that's working for me right here. Human, please. Well, you got to vote. Start a new account. Hey, we just got it. We got it. Thanks so much. Ending it. All right, before we move on, I'm going to do a little bit of trickery. I'm going to move, turn our symmetry off. Actually, before... Yeah, it's fine. I'll go ahead and delete that. Symmetry is still symmetry off. Go ahead and get rid of our middle line here. I will say this, if you do use the symmetry tool, be sure if you're whatever you're working with, if you want some asymmetry in it, which I highly recommend, it's sometimes more interesting. If it's not perfect, go ahead and turn it off and then make some adjustments where, you know, one side may have, you know, some kind of detail of something. The other may not. I don't know. Point is, keep it interesting. Try to keep it interesting. Like I like the idea maybe this side is a little bit different. Who knows why? Maybe it's even bigger on this side. That may be too different. I don't know. Either way, we can work on that if we get a chance. We got about another hour left, which is wild. We're pretty far into this. But like I was saying before we move on to our human, I'm just going to make a little copy of this, scale it back, enter. Another one back here, scale it back. May need to be more scaled back, I'm not sure. And then I'm going to just erase it out where I don't want it. And the same with the other one back here. Maybe we'll move him over. Move it over. Hello. Everything doesn't have to be selected. Yeah, I'm going to pull this one back a little bit more. Could even flip this around, and I'm just going to do this manually. A little bit smaller. And I'm going to erase that one out as well. Okay, I do have to get rid of part of this one's arm here. Now I may go ahead and just kind of fade that out a little bit. Okay, we actually have something we can work on here. Human hero. I'm gonna go ahead and select that again before I forget. In my notes. Oop. But I think that means we have to get a new poll going. here we go. An 11? Whoa. 11 it is. Let's take a look at 11. Where are you? Up top? Oh yeah, good thing to mention. Well, if you've been with us in the past, you know what, let me reveal this and then we'll have a little talk. Travel in Style or Joyride Junker. I don't know where this is going to fit, but this was supposed to be the means of transportation for maybe the hero, or the antagonist or the protagonist. But that's what we're going for here. So if Jack can get a poll going on that, that'd be awesome. But I want to talk about something real quick. So we had a thing called the Troll Toll over on Twitch, where we could use these little things right here. We had we had options to do 3 of them with the whole cooldown and all this stuff. Well, we can't. Hello. Sorry about that. Well, we can't do that as it was because that was a function of Twitch. Looking for suggestions on how to do this now. What I'm going to do right now, and you know, maybe this doesn't work. Maybe it works. I don't know. Sorry, Jack, if this is throwing you for a loop. I don't think it's going to be any requirement from you. But if you are on our Discord and you want to use the Troll Toll, go ahead and hop in the Discord, and the first person to suggest something for this in our Roller Troll Discord, we'll add it to the image. So you're gonna get 1, and I'll try to keep an eye on the Discord and the 2 chats and whatever poll we have going. So looks like the poll is up. Joyride Junker is winning currently. So I've got an eye on. I'm just gonna type hello. Troll Toll is open. Okay. So if we get somebody chiming in, we'll see what's up. In the meantime, I'm going to keep it working. Whoa, that was fast. And vetoed. Immediately vetoed. Meteor shower? Where am I going to put a meteor shower in this? But you know what? That's okay. We'll honor it. We'll figure it out. Maybe these clouds are raining meteors. I don't know. All right, hold up. Let me make sure. We're gonna mark off one of these pips and say meteor shower. Megan has done the Troll Toll for today. Meteors. Bam. But you know what? Wow. Let's see. Is it here? Yeah, here we go. Here, let's go ahead and. Is that the thing? That is not working. Fascinating. I don't know why the Troll Toll is not working. I was going to play the little animation, but apparently that's not working now. I don't know. My Discord hadn't finished loading. Well, I didn't know I was going to do that, but I thought it'd be fun. So let's see. What do we have to work on? We have human hero first, then we'll work on a meteor. I think the meteor shower thing's going to be pretty simple. So maybe I'll jump on that. I'll write this. Troll Toll meteor. Maybe it's raining steaks. Meteor shower. Okay. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Not in purple. Ooh, I wonder if we... No, probably not. I'm just going to add some little rocks to some of the... I'm going to indicate. looks like popcorn. We've got a popcorn shower. No one be alarmed. Maybe that was part of the, I don't know what the story is here now. I didn't know before. Now I know even less. Oh, we should have had it. You know what? I could have had it. Well, it's kind of hard to see that far in the background, but I like that we're indicating here. There we go. Things are happening. If I work on this, don't be too upset that the meteor shower gets moved or placed somewhere else, as in placed on somewhere out of frame. Joyride Junker is still winning. Megan, thanks so much for being so quick on the ball for doing that. That may be how we do these these troll tolls from now on. I'm not sure yet. If anybody has any suggestions, you can also toss them into the Discord, the very Discord that we just mentioned. I'm going to erase out this part of this hand because I think that's distracting. And I'm going to leave all of that the same. We probably will do our little ride down here. Down here, maybe even like facing off the thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, I'm going to work on our hero. Let me get on the right layer first off. All right. Human hero. All right. I'm just going to sketch this out, see where it goes. I thought about like having a face covering, but now I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. You know what I think we just made, folks? I didn't realize this now. I think we made, because the theme has kind of been somewhat 80s-ish, did we just create the future high school movie that we didn't know we needed? Now I want all the log lines. Now I need all of the possibilities that this could be. Like, is this the principal right here? And these are the enforcers or something for the school. And our little Marty McFly-esque fella is just trying to get out of summer school or something. Who knows? I'm keeping the robot arm. That's happening, by the way. No worries, I'm just here to add the chaos. Wouldn't have it any other way. Or maybe a way without a meteor shower. Maybe that way. I said maybe. Keep it light. Turn the brows up. Keep the mood light. Kind of wanted him kind of like in a smile, laugh situation. Live, laugh, love situation. And again, just hinting at all this stuff. This is not full-on illustration by any means. Like, that's what he's doing right now with the signal. He's changing his grade or something, so he doesn't have to go to summer school. He's hacking the system. I don't know. I'm not advocating for any of this. This is just a story. I'm not saying it's something I might do. Not at all. Not at all. Totally turning this into a backpack now. Like a fully, absolutely wearing a backpack. I wasn't going to do that, but now for sure, 100%. We need that voice, you know, that like, in a world. In an off world. Well, I feel like we're in an off world sometimes, so maybe that doesn't work. Flying bucket of French fries? Yes, I am here for it, PR. There's no sorry for that. That is 100%. Principal McFry? Come on. Maybe there's like one of those connecting things here between the backpack. Again, not going to get detailed here. I'm just kind of laying this out as best I can. Cheesy grin. Flip this around. All right, what do we got? We have a tie again. I think this is I sense a theme. We're just going to do ties all day. I'm okay with it. But I'm going to need before I move on, I'm going to need somebody to break a tie. Good enough for a sketch, I think, for now. Hey, thanks, Jack. Jack was like, I'm voting. We're not doing this today, folks. All right, I think we have enough of a human, enough of a robot. Should he have... Let's see, let me do a little pointing. Maybe it should be down. Boop. Uh-oh, hold on. Excuse me. So if you're doing that, you're holding the other fingers down with the thumb. And your other little digits are curled up. So there we go. Pushing the button to make sure he gets an A to avoid what? Cyber summer school? Cyber school that only happens during summer? Everybody knows this. Come on. You know the lore. Don't act like you don't know the lore. You never heard of cyber summer school? Cyber school? There's got to be a different phrase for that. Okay, here we are. I think we got part of this done. Don't like his chin very much, but that's okay. Seems like a decent enough fella, maybe. Some might mistake it for McDonald's $20.95. It might be. Maybe that's how they get their employees. Through the cyber school program. All right. Let's get this vehicle going. I think his other hand needs to be doing something. What can he be holding, doing something with this hand? Or I don't know. We'll figure it out. Or maybe it's covered. Well, we're gonna work on this joyride real quick. Joyride Junker. I'm just gonna name it Junker. And I'm going to make a copy of that. Because I think the junker is going to be down here. And I made this shape a while ago, and I was like, I don't know if I like that, but I kind of think we can make it work. I was like, it's kind of bar soap-ish. I feel like every car in the early, what years was that? Like 2000, early 2000s. Essentially every car, or no offense to anybody designing cars out there, but everything felt like someone had made a design out of bar soap, a car design, and then just ran water on over it because everything was just smooth and round. Was not the biggest fan. Oh, and somehow this is a junker. Because my instinct is to not make it a junker. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, what's up, Sean? How's it going? I guess we could start another pole that could get tied. Let's do that. Let's do that while we're figuring out how we made these choices and how we got here. All right, here we go. Rolling. I think it was an 18, which I believe we've already had. Yeah. Sorry. It's time to go in the jail. What? See ya. Whoa. All right, and we roll again. We've got 2 in jail, by the way. 2 in jail. Ooh, a 10. Yoop. Okay, let's take it over and take a look. Dice jail again. Yeah, it happens. Whoa, we don't need to be that close. When planets align, oh my gosh, I put way too many options for background stuff. Sky station. Maybe that's what's sending the meteors down. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You guys go vote over on YouTube. Jack will be setting that up for us. I'm going to work on this quote unquote junker and just, hope for the best. That's all any of us can do right now. I know I am a font of optimism when it comes to Roller Troll. All right. Trying to figure out my perspective here. I think we're okay with this. I think we're good. And I may move this up actually. And then scale it up. Oops. Something like that. Might change this arm to be down so that it's not distracting, as distracting. All right, the poll is up. How many dice do I have? Well, we won't get into specifics, but probably enough. Probably enough. But I want to design this little car thing. I want to get this going. I don't think I've ever done any kind of... Correct me if I'm wrong, those that have been here in the past. Have we done any sort of car type vehicle? And ponies don't count as a vehicle. I know that's a Ryan thing. I went through a whole tear of, I went through a time where I was doing a lot of like weird sci-fi vehicles. Most of them were really flat, like hard angle edges. I like the idea of not seeing the wheel. Like this is maybe there are no wheels to this, but because of the way design works, sometimes we hint at things that used to be, because that's how we're used to seeing those things. And maybe that's what this is a holdover from. Possibly. I don't know. gonna give this a little bit of, maybe there's a little bit of a flare. This, oh my god, we have to put a spoiler on this. Come on. 80s, what year? 3080? Is that what we're thinking here? Or 2080? Let's go 2080s. We have to have a spoiler on this. If it's an 2080s film, there has to be a spoiler. I mean, no spoilers for the film. We won't spoil the film. If you're just joining in, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Par for the course, but we were discussing 80s movies, and I love the idea that now we have our own little spoilered. that is a vehicle that has been spoiled. We've spoilered this vehicle. You ask your mechanic, how many vehicles have you spoiled? He's a professional spoiler. Oh, these silly dice, yes. Sky Station is winning. I am very interested to see how that's going to play out for us. You like how I throw us in there when it's something that is all of us, but then when, I need to blame chat, I don't hesitate. Classic. Now, what makes this a junker? That's the next question. Headlights got to be out, right? And promise me, if you guys see anything that looks like this on the road, take a picture, and then we will promptly file a lawsuit for copyright infringement. I'm kidding. Maybe. Oh, for the space station? Yeah, we'll figure it out. For zooming out, you mean? I like the idea of not like having this be, you know how like the theme now is to do like a bar for your light, which is fine, I suppose. But I like the idea of like hinting at that, so I'm gonna leave these connected. And there's no reason for a grill anymore if things are electric, or we don't know how this is powered. I was going to give it a flat tire, but you know what? There's no tire, so. I think maybe putting a spoiler on it is a junker enough. No offense to any cars that have been spoilered out there. Kind of a little bit messy here because we don't really have a way to exit this vehicle yet. Obviously, a flux capacitor. Yeah, it's movie magic was what drives everything in the future. I thought about, I don't know. There's a lot going on here. Okay. There's some sort of connection device. Maybe there's stickers, something that to make it. Ooh, I like this. Maybe this is seal the back together. There's maybe some patches on this. A couple of dents. Maybe we lose part of. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm just thinking through it. All right, I'm going to flip this around, see how much I hate it. Not a whole lot. I'm going to pull this in a little bit, I think. I don't hate it that much. I've hated a lot of things much more, so I think we're okay. I think what we could do, we've been spending a lot of time on this. I think we could get rid of that. I like that better. We could add stuff to it. Like some kind of, it's kind of symmetrical at this point, but maybe there is the idea that there is some sort of, oh, we have to have the massive antenna, right? Problem is going right through our character. Maybe we'll just put a little bit of an antenna up here. Something. I don't want it to get in the way of our spoiler either. I want that to be 100% recognizable. I'm gonna take that away. I don't know if we do wind up working on this at any point, or if I go back to it, we might find our big antenna back on there. But I think for now it's getting a little too complicated. But I am gonna keep, just to add to the junky part of it, this whatever this little stuff is that's kind of wrapping around the vehicle, I think. All right, cool. Cool. And then this is maybe a little shadow or something for now. What do we need to do? What have we? Oh, Sky Station. Ooh. Flip it. Flip it. New layer. Right now, oh wait, when planets align, ending the poll. Sky Station, not happening. But I'm gonna draw in some planets. Let's go ahead and get a new roll going though, just because, you know, time and things. We have about 20 minutes left. This might be our last roll, and then we'll start to kind of clean things up as best as possible. Sky station with a meteor shower. Nice try, Megan. Nice try. All right, let's go. Come on. Oh, no. I mean, maybe this is okay. This is, we built so much lore. Okay. Let's reveal what this is. This is definitely going to be our last thing, probably. Natural 20. Probably should have been 1, now that I think about it. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. Plot twist. Reverse roles. So now I have to take our protagonist and put him in this spot of our antagonist, and vice versa. I'll draw some planets real quick, just so we've got everything. We have clouds. I don't know how we're going to see the planets through the clouds, but we are. Here's our planet, potentially. Maybe there's another one right there. I don't know. We've lost the plot. Now we've got reversed roles. It's okay, though. I can do just some scaling and that sort of thing. Maybe I'll just have one of the planets peeking out right here. And then there's like a little boop, little ring around that one. And then there's something right there. I'm okay with it. That works for me. We got to move on. We've got way bigger fish to fry now. Okay. How's this going to work? Where is our human hero? Okay, cool. I'm going to make a copy of that. And then I'm going to take our metal meanie and make a copy of that. And then I think I'm just going to do this. Whoa. And don't worry, we'll clean this up. We'll try to redraw it as best we can. Want this roughly the same size. Do I just want to flip it? Yeah, we'll just make it work for now. And now I don't know what the story is anymore. But if we're truly doing role reversal, then the story is the character, our metal meanie, is now the protagonist. Let's see. How I want to do this. I mean, I could just flip this one. I'm going to have to massage it into place anyway, so I might as well just do it this way. Ooh, interesting. We could keep the scale of these. No. I don't want to cheat. I don't want to cheat you guys, and I don't want to cheat myself. So let's just keep working with it. Oh my gosh. There we go. We did it. Okay. We can make this work. We have about 15 minutes. Probably a little bit less, actually, because I think we are on semi-borrowed time, I think. We're still closing. Ryan, if you're still here, let me know. Behance tends to close out a little bit sooner than our standard. Like, we can go all the way to the end of the hour when we're working on Twitch, and I don't think that's the case but I have not discussed with anyone, so it's possible. Now, there is an issue here. Obviously, the line thickness changes for our sketch. It's going to look like it's way more detailed. That's just kind of where it's going to have to be right now. I'm not going to have time to bulk up these lines too much. But I think we can make something happen with this that looks okay. Get that collar kind of circling around. It's kind of funny. I left that robot arm, and now it kind of works. But now I have to work on this guy a little bit. I don't want to leave him. I don't want to leave him so sketchy. Because we, increased the brush size that we, scaling it up. Again, the line weight is totally different. In fact, I think I'm going to make this guy its own layer. Control Shift. That is not it. Control Shift J. Yeah, okay, cool. Now I'm just going to bring that down. New layer. Now we can work on this. It's an opportunity to fix some things potentially. I don't know about in the time we have, but we're going to try. We're certainly going to try. If we do get cut off on Behance, we will keep going. That's correct. Good call, Jack. Jack, thank you for looking out. I would have never thought to mention that. This guy is looking up longingly at the meteor showers. It feels wrong not doing another poll, but I think we're going to leave it just so I can clean this up. If you guys have any suggestions for roller trolls coming up, please feel free to drop those into the Discord. I think we will be doing that sort of jump into the Discord for the troll tolls, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to try and make this work as best we can on YouTube as far as all of the functions of Roller Troll. Oh no, Umacorn, wait, what? Propaganda posters. Hold up. We just made a fun high school movie thing. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure that message was from like minutes ago too. 20 minutes ago probably. I'm gonna flip this around. Oof. Kind of looks like one of the Hemsworths, the older one, I think. That's the vibe I'm getting right now, but like in a younger, with a younger face. I don't know. I wonder if that Let's Go meteor shower was a an attempt to remove let's remove this from our memory to wipe it all out. Because I don't know. After the role reversal, which, thanks Natural 20, I don't like it as much. I'm not digging it as much. I think we've done some fine work. Thank you, chat. But I don't... just making a little bit, a few different, just using the, if you didn't know you can do this, transform, Control T, and then you can come over here to the warp, I think it's called, transform a warp node, and you can move this all around. I use that all the time for little tweaks like I just made. If I want to extend the back of the head a little bit, push the head down a little bit, hit enter, make sure that happens. We can get rid of the layer behind it. Double up on this guy. That's not terrible. It's not terrible. For a 10-minute rework, not too bad. I think I may start to separate some of these layers. I'll just do this on its own layer, and then we're gonna probably roll out of here shortly. But just so we can see the division of these layers, I'm just going to do this. When everything's all sketchy, it does get everything. Sometimes things get lost, so. And I'd probably put, I don't know, I'd probably put a figure next to this car or something to indicate the size. If I were going to turn this into a poster of some sort, just so that this isn't just a small little car next to this guy. It's a whole different scene. So you have to find ways to make the scene kind of work and blend. I think we did this in little Drew Struzan call out when we did our the fantasy noir, which that was one of my favorites from last year, and I'm just gonna be honest, that was a good time. All right, I think that's going to do it for us. I don't know if we're getting cut off or what over on Behance, but it's probably happening pretty soon. Yeah, keep watching. I guess if we have any last minute suggestions, throw that into the chat. Yeah, absolutely, Bacon Bits. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I guess we can go ahead and start winding this down in that respect. Stay tuned for the next couple of weeks. I mentioned earlier that there was a little movie called Lord of the Rings coming back to theaters. There may be something themed that way coming up for Roller Troll. I don't know. It's a possibility. I think it'd be fun. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we lost. Let's see. We lost some of the. I don't really care that the background's not showing up as much. Yeah, I'm not mad at this. I think this is okay. I think I would possibly give our antagonist and or our character here like a little bit more. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe a little bit more flavor. Wearing a hat, sure. Everybody knows that people that wear hats are cool. Everybody knows that. That's just common knowledge. But what we could do is, if we were going true to our potential sort of retro 80, I guess, we could have him have a set of headphones that are, around his neck. Everybody that listens to headphones is cool. We know that. Just thinking of potential ways to kind of give this a little bit more flair. Now, this could be, some kind of little mechanical piece too, but I like the idea that we're sticking to a headphone type thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna let Jack off the hook. We're not doing any more polls, and I think we're going to close it out. But thanks again, everybody, for showing up to the first back on YouTube Roller Troll we've had in a while. We did start here last January on YouTube Behance. It's been a wild year. I'm glad we're still rolling and trolling. We're going to try to work out some of the wrinkles of being on YouTube and not having some of the Twitch features. But I think that's going to be fine. But anyway, we also are not doing a re-roll. If you've watched any of these in the past, we're not doing a re-roll today. We may do a re-roll, Roller Troll re-roll next time or in a couple of weeks. That's when I go over to my own Twitch channel and start working